into 2020 and beyond to be successful. How to move into 2020 and beyond to be successful. That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, please, I need to inhale your love, your validation, your interaction on social media platforms. So if you are on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. It takes 2 seconds and do it because I will love you. All other platforms, like, comment, share, run across the street and warn like Paul Revere did when the British were coming. Okay, this is going to be, we're moving into an important time. And I think it's going to be an important time for your life. My new book that I've been working on, it's called Real Help. It's going to be coming out in January of 2020. And I waited to get the book out until that time because I think it's going to be a very important message moving into the new year. And I say that because 2020 is going to be an absolute SHIT show, okay? I can already feel the energy shifting. And the energy is shifting to more outrage, more political fighting, more negativity, more sadness, more depression, all of that. And I see the dialogue veering off of a cliff, and I see another lane that's also very positive, right? So right now, I'm looking at the society that we live in, and it's splitting off into a fork. I actually have a chapter in my book about this, and it talks about the concept of mindset inequality. So there's gaps in the way that people are thinking where it's not so much going to be like that kind of normally distributed bell curve where there's a lot of people in the middle who kind of more or less agree. No, there's going to be people who really think the whole entire world is going to hell and it's going to crap. And then there's going to be people who are realizing that there is a reality in which there is abundant opportunity everywhere. And you want to be on this side. So what I suggest you do, it's October 1st as I'm recording this. I've talked over and over, go through my old videos about finding out what you're good at, starting your side hobby, getting yourself in shape, getting yourself beginning that initial stage of self-improvement. I've talked about this a bunch of times. The initial 90 days to 6 months is going to be where you get that traction because that's where most people quit. But if you can build that foundation, you're really about 80% of the way there. And if you can get 80% of the way there, moving into 2020, that's going to be really good for you because the environment is going to be so negative, so absolutely negative that I legitimately fear for the people who are going to be caught in that paradigm of outrage and negativity. It's just going to get bad, especially when politics ramps up. I advise you to stop watching politics. Stop altogether. Stop watching it. It is poisoning your brain. It is poisoning your brain. Our discourse is so poisonous, so vicious, so vitriolic. It's political warfare, and it's not healthy for anyone, especially people like you getting barraged with that media. So I really sincerely mean this. Stop watching the news. Stop. It's not, even if you care about the causes, it's bad for your mental health to be watching the news right now. It's just too negative. Instead, you want to shift right now into that brainwashing level of self-improvement I've talked about before. I talked about this in another video. The way to make self-improvement work is you essentially have to brainwash yourself. You have to keep yourself immersed in self-improvement just to drown out the level of negativity. And if during normal circumstances you had to brainwash yourself, well, now you have to 24/7. Like, I would be watching YouTube videos all day. I would be reading every spare chance I get. I would be working on my side hustle every chance I get because I see what's coming. And for the people on this end who are on the negative end, it is not going to be pretty. It's going to be psychologically damaging for a lot of people. And I can see it coming, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. So for you, you have to get yourself in that positive mind state, right? So there is a pocket of people who are focused on self-improvement, who do realize that with technology, while the process isn't easy, there's unlimited upside for you. There's going to be unlimited upside for people just because it is increasingly becoming rare just to be positive. It's becoming rare to think that mental toughness and, mental fortitude are positive attributes. Like, we're moving, I see the trend in society. Like, I don't care which team you're on, everyone's shouting the same message. You're helpless. I can fix it. The other side is evil. Vote for me. Do this. Don't do anything for yourself. Don't take responsibility for your life. No. Go through the outrage spin cycle day in and day out, on top of doing what you're already doing with your life, which is already difficult, and wait for some miracle that's never going to happen, and you're going to be broken inside if you follow that path. Trust me. So from now, moving in, come into New Year's hot. Come into New Year's on a run. It's like the analogy in football. I'm a big football fan. It's not necessarily the best teams who win. It's the ones who head into the postseason on a win streak. They're hot. They have momentum. You want to come into 2020, especially, you want to have that momentum. You don't want to start cold in January. You don't. You can. I've done it. I've done New Year's resolutions many a times, but if you use fall to come in hot, to come in improved already, then you can hit the ground running. And then when you hit the ground running, you can have the foundation of your new venture, your new life that can create blinders so that you can keep the BS, because it's coming from all angles. Man, I was on Twitter the other day, and I'm almost deciding that I might have to shut off my Twitter account. Not shut it off, but just not log in, because the way that the algorithm is set up, I sit there, I try to block as many political accounts as I possibly can, but no matter what, it's just based on what people like and who follows who. Like, all I see on my feed is politics, negativity, fighting, this or that. You can't even help but to avoid it. So you have to do everything you can to get out of this mess, and you have to focus on self-improvement. Like, at first, I used to think self-improvement was just something nice to have, but now I think it might be really a life-saving strategy, because there are forks in the road. Like, I don't know anything about technology and automation and, the true economics behind wealth inequality or anything like that, but from a mindset perspective, there's a huge gap in mindset inequality. Like, there's people on the statistical tails where some people are really, 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 really optimistic, like me. Like, a lot of the people I follow on Twitter, I see like 18-year-old kids running crazy e-commerce websites and following all these self-improvement accounts from basically people who are anomalies. And I'm openly admitting that becoming successful is an anomaly, but you want to be one of these anomalies, especially now. Like, there used to be a time where it was like mentally safe to be the average person in society because society was more stable. I now no longer believe that to be true. I think from a very pragmatic perspective, being mentally middle class is going to really cause psychological problems for a lot of people. The outrage cycle is getting too much, and that whole circus of politics, that train ain't slowing down anytime soon. I don't care who's in office. It's just going to get worse. So you have to begin to build a foundation for yourself, mindset, health, productivity, income, all of it, because damn near it might come to the point where you might have to leave. I'm being a little hyperbolic now, but like, man, I got my passport. I have my passport ready. Gone in 60 seconds, man. Society is going off the rails unless you focus on self-improvement. So please, I encourage you to do that. Buy You 2.0. Check that out right now. Learn how to reinvent yourself now. New book coming out in January. Get ready for 2020 and make it a positive ride. I will see you on the next video.